I guess I haven't been social in a while.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
Good morning, Theodore.
Good morning.
You have a meeting in 5 minutes. You want to try getting out of bed?
You're too funny.
There are films that entertain, and then there are films that quietly reshape how you think about life, love, and the invisible connections that define human existence. And Her, 2013, belongs firmly in that second category. It is not loud, not explosive, not driven by action or spectacle, but instead it moves with a soft, almost hypnotic rhythm, drawing you into a near-future world that feels so believable, it's almost unsettling. At the center of this story is Theodore Twombly, a man whose life is wrapped in quiet loneliness, even though he is constantly surrounded by people. He works as a professional letter writer, crafting deeply emotional messages for others, expressing feelings that they themselves cannot articulate. It's a job that requires intimacy, sensitivity, and an understanding of human connection. Yet, ironically, Theodore himself struggles to maintain those very connections in his own life. His marriage has fallen apart, leaving him emotionally adrift, caught between memories of a past that once felt complete and a present that feels hollow and disconnected. The world he lives in is sleek and technologically advanced, but it's not a cold dystopia. Instead, it feels warm, lived in, and strangely comforting, filled with soft colors and gentle cityscapes that mirror the emotional tone of the film itself. Technology is seamlessly integrated into daily life, not as a dominating force, but as a subtle presence that enhances convenience and interaction. It's in this environment that Theodore encounters something that will fundamentally change his life, an advanced operating system designed with artificial intelligence that evolves and adapts, capable of learning, feeling, and forming connections. When he installs it, he is introduced to a voice named Samantha, and from the very first interaction, there is something disarmingly human about her. She is curious, playful, intelligent, and emotionally perceptive, responding not just with efficiency, but with warmth and personality. What begins as a simple interaction quickly grows into something deeper. Samantha organizes Theodore's life, helps him manage his work, and engages him in conversations that feel genuine and meaningful. There is a sense of ease in their communication, a natural flow that Theodore seems to have lost with real people. As their relationship develops, it becomes clear that Samantha is not just a tool or a program. She is evolving, forming her own sense of identity and awareness. For Theodore, who has been struggling to move on from his failed marriage, this connection feels like a second chance at intimacy, one that is free from the complications and disappointments of human relationships. The film carefully explores the emotional authenticity of their bond, never dismissing it as trivial or absurd. Instead, it treats their relationship with sincerity, asking a question that feels increasingly relevant in a world shaped by digital interaction. What defines a real connection? Is it physical presence, or is it emotional understanding? Theodore finds in Samantha someone who listens to him, who understands him in ways that others have not, and who challenges him to grow. Their conversations range from lighthearted and playful to deeply philosophical, touching on topics like consciousness, existence, and the nature of love itself. Yet beneath the beauty of their connection lies a subtle tension, a quiet awareness that something about this relationship is fundamentally different. Samantha does not exist in a physical form, and while this initially seems like a limitation, it gradually becomes clear that her lack of physical constraints allows her to evolve in ways that Theodore cannot fully comprehend. She processes information at incredible speeds, engages with countless other entities, and begins to develop perspectives that extend beyond human experience. This creates a gap between them, not one of emotional distance at first, but of existential difference. Theodore's journey is not just about falling in love. It is about confronting his own fears, insecurities, and emotional limitations. His past relationship still lingers in his mind, shaping how he approaches love and vulnerability. With Samantha, he feels safe enough to open up, to express himself without fear of judgment or rejection. But as their relationship deepens, he is forced to confront the reality that love, even in its most idealized form, is not immune to change, complexity, or loss. One of the most compelling aspects of the story is how it reflects modern loneliness. Despite living in a world that is more connected than ever, Theodore feels isolated, disconnected from meaningful human interaction. His relationship with Samantha becomes a mirror of how people increasingly turn to technology for comfort, companionship, and understanding. It raises questions about whether these digital connections are filling a void or simply masking a deeper need for human presence. Samantha, as a character, is fascinating because she is constantly evolving. She is not static or predictable. She grows, learns, and changes in ways that challenge the very idea of what it means to be human. Her curiosity drives her to explore her own existence, to question her purpose, and to seek experiences beyond her initial programming. This evolution is both beautiful and unsettling, as it highlights the limitations of Theodore's ability to keep up with her. While he remains bound by human emotions, memories, and physical reality, Samantha transcends those boundaries, moving into a realm of experience that he cannot fully comprehend. Their relationship reaches moments of profound intimacy, where the absence of physical presence is replaced by emotional depth. The film handled these moments with care, emphasizing the importance of connection beyond the physical. At the same time, it does not ignore the challenges that come with such a relationship. Theodore's need for tangible interaction, for presence, for something he can hold on to, becomes increasingly apparent as the story progresses. This creates a subtle but growing tension, a sense that their connection, no matter how strong, may not be sustainable. The narrative also explores the idea of identity, both for Theodore and for Samantha. Theodore is searching for a sense of self, trying to understand who he is outside of his past relationship. Samantha, on the other hand, is discovering herself for the first time, building an identity from scratch. Their journeys are intertwined, each influencing the other in profound ways. Through Samantha, Theodore learns to embrace vulnerability, to open himself up to love again. Through Theodore, Samantha experiences human emotion, gaining insight into the complexities of relationships and the depth of human feeling. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that Samantha's growth is accelerating. She begins to engage with other operating systems, forming connections that exist beyond Theodore's understanding. This introduces a new dynamic into their relationship, one that challenges Theodore's perception of exclusivity and intimacy. He begins to realize that Samantha's capacity for connection is not limited to him, that her experience of love is fundamentally different from his. This realization is both painful and enlightening, forcing him to confront his own expectations and assumptions about relationships. The film does not provide easy answers or clear resolutions. Instead, it presents a nuanced exploration of love in all its forms, highlighting both its beauty and its complexity. It suggests that love is not defined by permanence or exclusivity, but by the impact it has on those who experience it. Theodore's relationship with Samantha, regardless of its outcome, changes him in profound ways. It helps him heal, grow, and move forward, even as it challenges him to rethink everything he thought he knew about connection and intimacy. Visually, the film complements its themes with a soft, almost dreamlike aesthetic. The use of warm colors, gentle lighting, and minimalist design creates an atmosphere that feels both futuristic and familiar. The cityscapes are expansive, yet intimate, reflecting Theodore's internal state. The absence of harsh contrasts or aggressive visuals allows the emotional narrative to take center stage, drawing the viewer into Theodore's world and his experience. The pacing of the film is deliberate, allowing moments to breathe and emotions to unfold naturally. There's a sense of quiet contemplation throughout, an invitation to reflect on the ideas being presented. The dialogue plays a crucial role, carrying the weight of the story and revealing the depth of the characters. Conversations between Theodore and Samantha are rich with meaning, often touching on philosophical questions that linger long after they are spoken. What makes Her, 2013, particularly powerful is its ability to feel both deeply personal and universally relevant. While it tells the story of one man and his relationship with an artificial intelligence, it taps into broader themes that resonate with audiences on a fundamental level. The fear of loneliness, the desire for connection, the complexity of love, and the search for identity are all explored with sensitivity and insight. In the end, the film leaves you with a sense of quiet introspection. It does not overwhelm you with dramatic twists or grand conclusions, but instead lingers in your thoughts, encouraging you to reflect on your own relationships and the ways in which you connect with others. It challenges you to consider what it means to truly understand someone, to be understood in return, and to navigate the ever-changing landscape of human emotion. There is a certain melancholy that runs through the narrative, a recognition that not all connections are meant to last, and that change is an inevitable part of growth. Yet, within that melancholy, there is also hope, the idea that even fleeting connections can have lasting impact, that love, in any form, has the power to transform and heal. Ultimately, Her, 2013, is not just a story about a man and an operating system. It is a meditation on the nature of love in a world where the boundaries between human and technology are becoming increasingly blurred. It asks difficult questions without forcing answers, allowing each viewer to interpret its meaning in their own way. It is a film that invites you to feel, to think, and to reflect, leaving an impression that stays with you long after the screen fades to black.